Shocking news. Donald Trump refuses to place his hand on the Bible. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, so salute to the replay gang, salute to my moderators, salute to you, him, and her, salute to the chat. Salute, Miss Parker. Now, many people brought this to my attention that Donald Trump did not put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in at his inauguration. Many people wanted me to investigate it and find out why didn't he place his hand over the Bible. Many people felt as though he was being disrespectful. All right. Now, you all know I take the news and I bring you the shocking part of the news. Salute, Brother Nazir. Salute, Positive Vibes. Salute. Now, we're going to take a little journey and we're going to see why he didn't place his hand on the Bible. We're also going to see, is it mandatory? Was it mandatory for him to place his hand on the Bible? All right, let us begin. Let us begin. Because just because he didn't place his hand on the Bible, if it's not mandatory, then he didn't do anything wrong. Drop a one if y'all think that he was being disrespectful by not placing his hand on the Bible. Drop a 2 if you think that he wasn't. Salute, Sagittarius. Yes, I seen the picture. And I appreciate you, Sagittarius, for sending me the picture. So I went on and I done some investigation. So let's take a deep dive into finding out why Trump didn't place his hand on the Bible, and also, is it mandatory? All right, let's go. Salute, Eartha. Salute, Eartha.
Takes the oath of office on a Bible. What is lesser known is where that tradition came from and what Bibles the presidents choose.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
The office of President of the United States.
So help me God.
35 words, a Bible, and a judge. What sounds like the makings of a wedding are actually Inauguration Day traditions passed down for more than 200 years. It's an iconic moment when a citizen takes the oath of office with his hand atop a Bible and becomes the country's president, swearing an allegiance to uphold the Constitution before God and country.
Some have used George Washington, the Bible that George Washington used in 1789, which is the King James version of the Bible, and it's actually it's owned by a Masonic lodge in New York. They lent it for Washington to use for the oath because Washington, his Bible hadn't arrived, his possessions, his materials hadn't really arrived from Mount Vernon by the time he was in New York for the inauguration, and so they rushed out to grab this Bible.
While many believe George Washington added the word
So we've seen some presidents opt to they want to use the very same Bible that George Washington used the first time he took the oath of office as president. We've seen a number of presidents use the Lincoln Bible, which is in the possession of the Library of Congress. Barack Obama used it for both of his inaugurations. Donald Trump used it for his first inauguration. But Donald Trump also combined the Lincoln Bible with a family Bible. So we're helping together. Congratulations, Mr.
What Bible did the incoming president use this year? Although Trump recently released an inauguration edition of his Bible, instead he chose the same two that he used in 2016, Abraham Lincoln's Bible and a Bible his mother gave him as a child. President Trump's childhood Bible from the inauguration will be on display at the Museum of the Bible for a limited time starting this week. The exhibit will also feature other Bibles used by past presidents.
But what's interesting about our exhibit is we also have on display the Grover Cleveland Bible that was used, that was his Bible, and it was also the only other president that had 4 intervening years between their 2 presidencies. So we know that this is always every 4 years a very exciting time for the city of Washington, D.C. And here at the Museum of the Bible, we're excited to welcome all of those who are coming to town for this event.
Vice President J.D. Vance also used a family Bible, one given to him by his grandmother the day he left home for the Marine Corps. While swearing on a Bible is not required by the Constitution, it is a time-honored tradition from the Founding Fathers to today.
So let's stop right there. So it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory that a president puts their hand on the Bible. We learned that presidents use different Bibles. It's not just one custom Bible that all presidents use. Presidents have a choice of their own. We also learned that the 2016 inauguration of Trump, he did put his hand on the Bible. Now, if it's not mandatory, if it's not in the Constitution, that the president, as he's being sworn in, has to place his or her hand on the Bible. If it's not, mandatory, what's the issue? All right? Now, I'm going to backtrack, and because it's a lot of things in this clip that I want to cover. But for many of you that may felt like it was disrespectful, it wasn't mandatory for Trump to place his hand on the Bible. And I was going to save this little piece of information until later on in the demonstration, but I might as well give it to you now. If you go to the actual sworn in, the man never told Donald Trump to place his hand on the Bible. So if the person that was sworn him in, if he didn't acknowledge for Trump to put his hand on the Bible, then we can't hold Trump accountable for not placing his hand on the Bible. Maybe Trump was waiting for the man to say, raise your right hand, place your other hand on the Bible. But I want to break this clip down, y'all. Let's go deeper into this clip.
Say a Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
The office of President of the United States.
So help me God.
35 words, a Bible, and a judge. What sounds like the makings of a wedding are actually Inauguration Day traditions passed down for more than 200 years. It's an iconic moment when a citizen takes the oath of office with his hand atop a Bible and becomes the country's president.
Now, I want to stop right there. Now, it's just a tradition, okay? Now, if you remember when President Obama was the president, and y'all remember when President Barack Obama wore the brown suit, the beige suit, and they caused so much hell talking about its tradition. Why isn't Obama in a black suit? Why isn't Obama in a blue suit? Why is President Obama in a brown suit, a beige suit? It's tradition for presidents to wear black and blue suits. Well, we all know that traditions are meant to be broken. Just because it's a tradition doesn't mean that it's mandatory. It's just a tradition that the president puts his or her hand on the Bible. It wasn't mandatory. It's not like the person that was sworn him in said to him, place your hand on the Bible, and Trump refused to. So we have to look at that. We have to look at the whole picture. The picture is that he didn't put his hand on the Bible. But if you look at the bigger picture, no one asked him, no one told him to place your hand on the Bible. He never refused.
Swearing an allegiance to uphold the Constitution before God and country.
Some have used George Washington, the Bible that George Washington used in 1789.
Let's stop right there. And I'm going to come back because I'm going to do my best. Now, if you would like for me to read your comment, if you would like for me to answer a question of yours, you're going to have to get a super chat. But I know that this is your first time over here, Shari Haywood. So let me just nip it in the bud right quick. Shari Haywood says, traditions aren't meant to be broken. Are you kidding? Sure, traditions are meant to be broken. And I'll give you a tradition of mine. As a child, it was tradition in my family that we celebrated Christmas. And I know it's tradition amongst many of you to celebrate Christmas. But as I got older and I learned that Christmas was a pagan holiday, I broke the tradition in my family and I no longer celebrated Christmas. My family members were highly upset with me. Many of them said bad things about me. However, when they learned that Christmas was a pagan holiday, they followed behind me and they too broke the traditions of our family. So please don't tell me that traditions aren't meant to be broken. I've been going easy, but keep your funky ass Shari Haywood in line. The next time you interrupt my demonstration, I'm going to have my moderators march your funky ass up out of my chat. Please, before y'all come for me, please, before y'all speak without knowing what the hell y'all saying, think. Take 5 seconds to think. If not, I will run your funky ass up out of my chat. Talking about traditions aren't meant to be broken. Back on to the demonstration. Moderators, be on point. For the second that I tell y'all to run Shari funky ass up out of here, run Shari's funky ass up out of here. And anybody else that come in here with the BS. Now let me get back to the lesson.
Some have used George Washington, the Bible that George Washington used in 1789, which is the King James version of the Bible, and it's actually it's owned by a Masonic lodge in New York. They lent it for Washington to use for the oath because Washington, his Bible hadn't arrived, his possessions.
Now, according to this, the first Bible, which was at George Washington's inauguration, came from a Masonic lodge. And I know many people believe that the Masons are satanic. Many people believe that Masons worship the devil. See, and this is why we have to investigate. This is why we have to do our homework before we speak on things that we know nothing about. If you have a problem with Trump not placing his hand on the Bible, but you don't have a problem with the Masons lending presidents way back to George Washington their Bible, then I think you need to check exactly what your belief system is. But let's backtrack.
I was on a lodge in New York. They lent it for Washington to use for the oath because Washington, his Bible hadn't arrived, his possessions, his materials hadn't really arrived from Mount Vernon by the time he was in New York for the inauguration. And so they rushed out to grab this Bible.
While many believe George Washington added the words, "So help me God," at the end of the oath, there are no accounts of him using the phrase. We do know that in 1881, when President Chester A. Arthur was sworn in, he did use the words during his ceremony. Many subsequent presidents followed the leads of Washington and Arthur, using Bibles and the phrase, "So help me God," but with their own personal touch.
So we've seen some presidents opt to use, they want to use the very same Bible that George Washington used the first time he took the oath of office as president. We've seen a number of presidents use the Lincoln Bible, which is in the possession of the Library of Congress. Barack Obama used it for both of his inaugurations. Donald Trump used it for his first inauguration.
So if Donald Trump put his hand on the Bible during his first inauguration, what's the big deal? If he didn't put it on this time, maybe he knows something that we don't know. I don't see as if he disrespected the Bible. I don't feel like he did it out of spite. I just feel like the person that was giving him the inauguration, they did not tell him, please put your hand on the Bible.
Trump also combined the Lincoln Bible with a family Bible.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
What Bible did the incoming president use this year? Although Trump recently released an inauguration edition of his Bible, instead he chose the same two that he used in 2016, Abraham Lincoln's Bible and a Bible his mother gave him as a child. President Trump's childhood Bible from the inauguration will be on display at the Museum of the Bible for a limited time, starting this week. The exhibit will also feature other Bibles used by past presidents.
But what's interesting about our exhibit is we also have on display the Grover Cleveland Bible that was used, that was his Bible, and it was also the only other president that had 4 intervening years between their 2 presidencies. So we know that this is always every 4 years a very exciting time for the city of Washington, D.C. And here at the Museum of the Bible, we're excited to welcome all of those who are coming to town for this event.
Vice President J.D. Vance also used a family Bible, one given to him by his grandmother the day he left home for the Marine Corps. While swearing on a Bible is not required by the Constitution, it is a time-honored tradition from the Founding Fathers to today.
I hope you all heard what I heard. While swearing on the Bible, it's not Constitution, meaning it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory that you place your hand on the Bible. All right? And then we also got to keep in mind this as well. For religious purposes, okay, let's say like y'all know in school, when it comes time to pledge allegiance to the flag. Here's another tradition that I broke. And I'm sure many of you have broken this same tradition also. Now, when I was growing up, it was a tradition that we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. When I got older, and I started to learn, I refused to say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? So when my children went to school, I refused them I told them, do not say the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag. The schools would always tell me, it's a religious right if your children choose not to make the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag because of a religious reason, that's your right. It's all about knowing your rights. Just because 10 people go to the left, that don't mean I go to the left. Just because 10 people go to the left, that don't mean you go to the left. Find out what you're going to the left for. Now let me backtrack. How many of y'all still celebrate Christmas? Don't you know that there are many that knows that Christmas is a pagan holiday? However, they will still celebrate Christmas. Now, if you know Christmas is a pagan holiday, why do you celebrate it? Why do you teach your children? Why do you teach your grandchildren to celebrate a pagan holiday? See, this is what, as Americans, what we really need to be focusing on. Not so much focusing on Trump. I'm telling y'all, Trump is a small percentage of us solving our problems. Look at our belief systems. Look at what we believe in. We really believe in Christmas. We really believe in Easter. We really believe in pagan holidays. Y'all don't think it's something wrong with that? Talk to me. Talk to me. Trump is the least of our worries. He's the least of our worries. I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I'm not Jehovah's Witness. Although I will let Jehovah's Witnesses come into my home and I will speak with them, but I'm not Jehovah's Witness. Shout out to the Jehovah's Witnesses. We all know that Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. See, but we are so concerned with Trump, who's trying to make things right. That's the problem. That's the problem that people have with Trump. Trust me. Trust me. The problem that people have with Trump is fixing things that is broken. Trump is forcing the American people to stand up and do better. And the American people that don't want to do better, they're the ones that got the problem with Trump. If you got a problem with Trump, it's because you don't want to do better. Do better. I promise you, if you do better, you won't have no problem with Trump because you'll be too focused on doing better. The first thing that you're going to say, I ain't got time to be worried about Trump. That's the first thing you're going to say on your journey to doing better. I ain't got no time for Trump. I got to worry about myself and getting myself right. Trump is not Jesus Christ. Trump is not God. Trump is the president of the United States of America. Trump can only do what any president of any corporation can do. And that's manage the affairs of that company. That's it. If you're looking for Trump to fix your problems, you got the wrong person. And that's what so many people are expecting. So many people are expecting Trump to fix their problems. He can't fix your problems. He can't. Yeah, Shank. I understand all that, but Shank, Trump is racist. I done already proved to y'all that the man ain't racist. Trump is no more racist than any of us. If he loves his race, I love my race. I'm sure everybody loves the race that they come from. I'm sure of that. I mean, come on. Once again, because it's just the chat is moving fast, and then I'm not going to answer y'all questions, and I'm not going to read y'all comments. If y'all really want me to read y'all comment, if y'all really want me to answer y'all question, just get a chat. Put it in a super chat. Super chats are as low as 99 cents. Purchase a super chat, click on the $ symbol. Purchase a 99-cent super chat and put in the super chat your comment. I can't answer all y'all comments. I can't. I'm not. Because I know a lot of y'all be just trolling me. I know a lot of y'all be trolling me. So y'all wasting y'all time with y'all comments and y'all questions.
The best part about the
Introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, everybody. Wow. Thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
Are we focusing on what he has been saying? Have we been focusing on those executive orders that he signed? Are we focusing on the executive orders that he has signed?
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn.
Tell them again, Bren. Shout out to all those that have been affected by those wildfires out there in California. Tell them again, Bren. It's a lot of trolls in here today, but y'all are not Rock Squad. Appreciate that, Bren.
From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it that's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly. My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over. Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
And that's where we're going to stop at. Donald Trump says that his life was saved for a reason. Donald Trump says that God saved his life. Drop a one. Drop a one if y'all believe that God saved Donald Trump's life. Drop a one. Drop a two if you disagree. And it's okay to disagree. Drop a two if you disagree. But I'm going by what the man says. He says God saved his life. He said God saved his life to make America great again. It's all about making America great again. It's about making America greater than what it is today. It's about all of us, because he can't do it by himself. It's nowhere in the world that one man, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, whether it's Obama, whether it's me, whether it's you, it's no way that one man can do it all. Michael Jordan couldn't do it by himself. Tom Brady couldn't do it by himself. So, once again, attacking Donald Trump, that's the worst thing you could do, is to attack Donald Trump. Donald Trump was saved by God. Y'all got to take that up with God. Question God. Go and pray and ask God, why you saved Donald Trump's life? God will tell you. He'll answer you. I don't know why God saved Donald Trump's life, but I do know God chooses who he chooses to do his will and do his work. I can tell y'all that. God chooses who he want to choose. And if you read the Bible, there were many men in the Bible that was way worse than Donald Trump, but didn't God use them? So y'all got to take that up with God. Go pray. And if you don't know how to pray, you know, you could just pray with your hands closed. You could pray with your hands open, or you could just sit there and just ask God, why did you keep Donald Trump alive? Why did you allow Donald Trump to become the president? I bet God answer you, and I bet he's going to tell you. And he's going to tell you my favorite phrase. Let it play out. And you'll see why I saved Donald Trump's life. See, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the people have to have a change. Sometimes the people are so comfortable. And the only way that the people will change, the only way that the people will evolve is you have to shake some things up. And who other than Donald Trump to shake it up? Biden didn't shake things up. Obama could have shaken some things up. I believe Obama was on the path of shaking some things up. I do believe Obama was on the path of shaking some things up. But Biden didn't shake nothing up. Who else to shake some things up but Donald Trump? I'm going to read this comment and then we're going to get out of here. Bren says, one thing is for certain. Trump's name alone attracts people. If it was Shanquella Robinson's name, a lot of y'all wouldn't be here trolling. Facts. And that's facts, Bren. That's fact. And watch, I'm going to do a demonstration in about an hour. And I'm not going to have Trump's name in that demonstration. And let's see. We ain't going to see all these people in here trolling, Bren. We ain't gonna see these people in here trolling. Trump's name, just his name alone. His name alone. Trump is a brand, and he built his brand. Look, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Salute.